Let's go to mom. Check the bylaws in your city too. A lot of cities have laws against that for condos due to the second hand. That's actually a good idea, Wolfer. I mean, it's getting to the point where I feel like I do need to actually look into it in some way because it is driving me nuts. Get some of those cologne dispensers from Abercrombie and Fitch and point them at their apartment. Oh my God, dude. Oh my God. That's even worse. If I had cologne piping into my apartment, that would be horrible. Found this. Depending on where you live in Illinois, law may be on your side. State law completely bans smoking in dormitories across the state. Many counties have adopted smoke-free policies in public housing. However, in private housing, the smoking policy is decided by the landlord, not the law. Regardless of where you call home in Illinois, you have some options for dealing with secondhand smoke, specifically cigarette smoke. You know what I'll probably do? My landlords are awesome. I will probably contact my landlord and have them figure out what to do about it, because they usually, like, if we tell them that we got some shit that needs to get figured out, they don't hesitate to help, which is what I love about them. I just saw there was a massage shoulders button just then. There is, Skog. Get some of those cologne just... Oh, let's see, I did that. Find the vents. I meant more for Gappy, my bad. Oh, no worries. I know DrMick very well. For instance, he loves it when it snows. Yeah, love it, mother. It's my favorite thing in the entire world. How fast can that bike go? About this fast. As far as I know. Yeah, my landlords are amazing. We are so lucky to have them. Some people could be allergic to perfumes as well, so it may not be the best idea. Oh no, Zeph, I'm not actually gonna do that. I'm just indulging in the thought. I would never do that. I am not like an eye for an eye guy. I'm more like, do what you can to take the high road and then get shitty if you need to. Stem, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome in. Landlords, there must be a board for condo owners. There are. And there's HOA. Yeah. There is. But like, I went to the management office though, and they were less than helpful. Like they were like, oh yeah, it just be that way sometimes. I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. I just can't believe other neighbors haven't bitched about it. I mean, my eyes, seriously, my eyes are burning right now. Like it feels like I'm staring at a campfire. It is so awful. I was back watching yesterday's VOD, and there was some interesting discussion about attachment styles and how people from abusive situations can struggle with that. Can you talk a little more about the different types of attachment and how to tell what kind your partner has? I can, Skog. So there are, in general, there are 4 types of adult attachment. So your attachment is something that's formed in childhood, and it's based on how consistent and reliable your caregivers are. The more consistent and reliable your caregiver is in times of distress and in times of needing to meet your needs, the more likely you are to have what's called a secure attachment style, which is where you are able to internalize a sense of safety and reliability, and you know that you're taken care of at any given point in time, which gives you space to go explore your environment because you have like a secure post to hit yourself to, if you will. However, if parental figures are not consistent and reliable or cause harm to their children, people form one of 3 other types of attachments, one being anxious attachment, another one being dismissive attachment, and then another one being chaotic attachment. And what that basically means is when you can't get your needs met by your caregiver, you take matters into your own hands in whatever way that you can. So anxious attachment usually looks like where if you're not feeling safe, you will pursue your caregiver. You will pursue getting your needs met, sometimes at the expense of your own needs. Like you will like seek large amounts of proximity in order to maintain the closeness to your caregiver as a way to try to get them to realize you need the help, if that makes sense. There are other... so in adulthood, anxious attachment usually looks like a person who is clingy or pursues a lot or really struggles with distance. It's not healthy because usually what happens is the person who is on the other end of that feels smothered by the person with anxious attachment. Then you have dismissive attachment, which is basically where the child learns that my caregiver is not consistent or reliable, so I have to rely on myself. People taking care of me is not reliable, so I got to figure this out on my own. And in adulthood, what that usually looks like is the person who, under times of distress, will say, all right, well, screw you. I don't need you anyway. And will put in distance and blockers, and they'll be very dismissive of another person's needs and will kind of focus on their own. And then you have chaotic attachment, which is what happens usually when people come from abusive households where their caregiving and what you perceive as a child to be the person who is supposed to meet your needs causes harm. So you associate closeness and being taken care of with a lack of safety. And in adulthood, that's a person who has a very unpredictable response to intimacy, where usually they've conceptualized that as being dangerous in some ways, and so they'll respond accordingly.
Beginning scan. Have a pleasant journey.
Which one you have is reliant in a lot of ways upon what type of caregiving you had when you were a child, and then what types of relationships you've had as an adult, because you transfer your attachment style from your family of origin to whatever intimate partner you or partners you may have. So that's kind of a basic overview of it. Hello, Trina. Good evening. So nice to see you. Chaotic attachment is exhausting to work with? Sure. So if you are with somebody who is anxiously attached, you will often feel smothered. If you're with somebody who is dismissively attached, you will often feel like they are not present. Chaotic, they will be hard to read. And securely attached people tend to be okay being by themselves. They are able to nicely regulate their desire for closeness and distance. Oh, it is, D. Absolutely. I will have it as posted as one of my YouTube videos. So if you don't sub to me on YouTube, you should, because I post all these little clips there. What's up, Pink Skull? Dismissive. That's totally me. Yeah, and it's important to know our attachment styles, not because we're doomed to that style, but because then that tells you what kind of work you might need to do. So something that I talk about with clients a lot is what we tend to do is our attachment shows up in the way that we experience tension or anxiety at varying levels of closeness and distance. And I call it like the vibrating point, which is essentially like if you have closeness over here and you have distance over here, when people experience where like some level of that on the spectrum, people usually hit a point where one of those is more uncomfortable than the other. Like if you come from an abusive household, you are likely going to experience closeness as distressing because you have associated that with pain and with suffering as a child. So what happens is as you get closer to distance in an intimate relationship, which is, I mean, the hallmark of an intimate relationship is a sense of closeness. That's what we seek. That will become very distressing. And then a person will start to kind of vibrate like this, and they're not going to like it, and they experience distress, and then they will often try to kick back to distance. You have other people who experience a significant amount of anxiety with distance.
Come on.
And then what they will do is they will pursue as a way to compensate for the distance. So anxiously attached people really struggle with distance. Dismissive people really struggle, and chaotic people really struggle with closeness. Securely attached people have this ability to kind of sit nicely and understand context, see their partner as somebody they can return to if they need to, but they're also free to explore their environment. What's kind of funny about this is secure attachment can actually lead to people experiencing thoughts and wanting to engage in behaviors that people, without understanding it correctly, will think could be indicators that there's a problem in the relationship. An example of this is that people who are securely attached, by virtue of being securely attached, you're interested in being able to explore your environment knowing that that person is reliable and loves you. And sometimes people who are securely attached will want to potentially seek a sexual partner or partners outside of that relationship. They may want to explore their sexuality outside the relationship in some way. And a lot of times what people do is they look at that and say, oh my God, that must mean that the relationship is effed. Like, oh my, you want to go have sex with somebody else? Like, what the hell's wrong with us? And that is not always the case. Sometimes it's because I feel so secure in this relationship that I feel like I could go explore outside of it and it's not going to damage my relationship. That is not always the case, but that's just an interesting way to look at it in some ways. Gecko, good to see you. Let's see, did I miss? Heard of anxious attachments, I think, but not chaotic. Yeah, chaotic's often the result of abuse. Is this a persistent world? Are other people playing in the same space as you? Sort of, Gappy.
Gotta work on those.
Is it possible to smother somebody and be distant at the same time? I suppose. Let's see. Can people be combinations of multiple styles? They can kind of weave in and out to an extent, CJ, depending on the relationship itself. But people tend to have a propensity towards one or the other based on their caregiving, like the caregiving they had when they were growing up. Tree Hugger, good to see you. I don't know if I said hello, but good to see you, man. I don't know about my attachment style, but my sister made me take this challenge on Sims 4 to have an eccentric trait on my Sims because it's supposedly hard to deal with. All it did was make me realize I think I have that trait as a human because it was supposed to be easy to deal with. Interesting. I'm anxious at a base level. However, I notice I can be distant. It depends on most of the anxious. Like, here's the thing, guys. Like, if you, every once in a while, in relationships that are healthy, there is a dose of autonomy and connectedness. Like, being completely intertwined or fused is not healthy. Being completely separated is not healthy. Like, neither one of those is an ideal form of relationship. An ideal form of relationship is one where people experience that autonomy and connectedness simultaneously. So sometimes you need distance. That doesn't mean you have a dismissive attachment style. Sometimes you need closeness. You need to be cuddled. That doesn't mean that you have an anxious attachment style. Attachment styles are generally able to be seen and recognized and assessed as patterned behavior and what happens in times of distress. And you can tell who your primary attachment figures are, by the way, because they're the person or people that you seek proximity to in times of distress, which, by the way, is a really cool diagnostic tool as a systemic therapist, where if a person has like an outside extradyadic relationship and then they have a primary relationship, whether those relationships know about each other or not, you can usually tell which one the person is more attached to, because if you inject anxiety into that person, who will they seek closeness to first is a really great indicator. An adult conversation between the couple should happen at that point. Yeah, you talking through your intimacy needs is super important. Disorganized attachment style is essentially indication that the person hasn't formed a consistent pattern of attachment, so you would see that we could perceive as switching between attachment styles and those people. Sort of, but that's not a... I mean, I don't disagree, Gecko, but also, like, that doesn't happen as quickly as people often think it does. It's like, that would... arguably, I'd say that's closer to a chaotic attachment than it is a... Well, disorganized and chaotic are sometimes used synonymously. I talked to my sister some time ago regarding my thoughts on the city I'm living in and found her response to be a bit cold. And she said, well, that's where you live now. How was I supposed to respond to that? I don't know, Gappy, as I don't know your sister. Cuddling is amazing. For some, it is. For some, cuddling is incredibly threatening, Zeph. You know, we all have different responses to closeness and distance. There are entire theories in couple and family therapy that are focused on people's regulation of that emotional closeness and distance. Hello, Deezen. Attachment styles are patterns of behavior, not in this one instance, this thing happened, therefore I must be attachment factor. Exactly. And a lot of people don't realize that. They think, oh my God, I need some alone time. Does that mean I'm dismissive? I'm like, no, it doesn't. I will say, though, that people tend to overestimate the fact that they are securely attached. Secure attachment is not something that the majority of people have. The majority of people tend to fall into one of the like anxious attachment styles, which is not problematic per se. It's just kind of how it is. But secure attachment is, while secure attachment might be the ideal, it is not common. Hello, Matt. Healthcare and social services, we live here. Why would we want to leave? Oh, dude, I hear you, D. I really do. We've got a messed up healthcare system in the U.S. That's fine to say. I actually read something that said dogs don't like to be cuddled because it's an act of dominance and aggression in their minds. I can see that. It's like if you see gorillas, you shouldn't look them in the eye. How was the party? The party's tomorrow, Trina. Isn't or are you asking that to me or to Matt? Because isn't that get together thing tomorrow? Because that's when I have to go to the holiday party tomorrow. Oh no, Matt, how is the party? Okay. Ha. Whoopsie. I just assume everybody's talking to me. I'm so egocentric. Are you sure about those stats on attachment styles? I haven't looked at the stats on them specifically, but I thought it was more that non-secure styles are more prevalent than we may think, but secure is still the larger group. Yeah, that's from my understanding. Last time I looked at that stuff, Gecko, from my understanding, it's that the non-secure attachment styles are more common. I don't know if that's changed. I mean, it's also a very hard thing to track because most of the studies on attachment, as it relates to adult attachment, are like self-report, which is not reliable anyway. So I don't know the actual stats on it, if they even exist. What's up, Putt Dog? That being said, educating ourselves makes it possible to catch and observe behaviors and make changes. That's absolutely correct. Did you say messed up healthcare system in the U.S.? I'm rather salty with what's going on with me right now. Want to hear? Smuckers, by all means, feel free to share. It's good to have you in here, by the way. This is my first time watching your stream, and I'm loving this idea. Watching a therapist play video games as they talk about mental health issues. I wish more therapists did this. I agree, Pink. I wish more therapists did this, too. I'm really glad you're here. I'm glad you're enjoying it. This is how most streams are. It's just a nice, chill... Well, I've been playing a lot of Death Stranding lately, but yeah, that's what I'm here for. Is my goal is to destigmatize mental health, make mental health information more accessible to people who might not otherwise have access. That kind of thing. So, really glad you're here. Tell your friends. I also am an idiot about the way that I went about this. I wish Tally or some of the Brits Irish were here. I've been thinking about how Britain pioneered so much of the modern industrial world and how they voted to throw it all away. It is quite interesting, D. When is the next Jackbox night? I am actually, Chico, I am actually considering doing it tomorrow night if I get home in time. I have a family party tomorrow that I know is going to go somewhat late, but I don't know how late. And it's going to depend on what traffic's like with me getting back to the city. I'm hoping I'm going to get back by 11:30, but I actually don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Oh yeah, Gecko is an example of that, by the way, Pink. I was lolling at what we got ditched by the pizza guy twice now last stream. Yeah, right, Skog? Pissed me off, man. Peter's on my shit list. I play Jackbox with you, CJ. We even have a Hall of Fame for the person who wins Trivia Murder Party, because that is the game that we finish with every single time, and it's fabulous. Playing League of Legends, Gecko? Come on, man. Do better. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could have had a solid support system? Oh, here we go. What the hell am I doing? Why am I doing this? Why is Sam doing this? This is a little awkward, guys. Can everybody just look away from the stream for a second, please? Just look away for a second. Ah. This is I don't think Sam was ready for how wet this was going to be. Guys, we're almost done. It's almost finished. It's almost finished. Oh, okay. Whew. Wow. That was unexpected. Oh my God, Gecko. One-liners you'd never hear ever in your life. Oof, good thing I have the river to clean up, huh? Wow. This is a saltwater river now. What's up, vegan? That was so ridiculous. All right, wait, I gotta, you know what, guys? I gotta slam a monster after that. Holy hell. Oof. Wow. I can feel it in my loins. This game is very strange, Tree Hugger. I agree. Oh my God. You know the worst part is we did that while we were on our trip to see Mother. I'm not even kidding. Her name's Mama. Don't judge me, all right? I know, sorry, Mother. Freudian slip there. BB don't know. Oh, you have got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. I just crossed this effing river and I didn't need to do that. Oh my God. Unbelievable. What an idiot. I just got so wrapped up. I got off on the wrong side of the river. Were you surprised Sekiro won Game of the Year? I actually didn't see that. But I actually I haven't played it. I own it on Steam, but I haven't played it yet. I saw, like, didn't IGN give Game of the Year to Control or whatever that game is? That all the mastication is irregular behavior. That, don't you mean mastication? Mastication. I'm a masticator. I joined because I saw a surprised look on Doc's face in the thumbnail around 20 minutes ago. I love it. So I've been on pain management for a while, was taking 5 milligrams of methadone 3 times a day. So pharmacy screwed up, dispense 10 milligram tablets, which I only noticed after taking them for a month. Whoa, doctor's office said take 5 milligrams like we told you. There won't be any withdrawals once you've been taking it for a month. Yeah, well, my resting heart rate is shooting up 20 to 30 beats per minute. Constant yawning, watering eyes, and GI issues all within less than 12 hours. Oh my God. They also said if you have any problems, give us a call. So I called, left a message because the nurse didn't pick up her extension, talked to the receptionist who's new and was told that they were busy with patients and she would get back to me whenever she checked her messages. Surprise, surprise, they never called me back. Oh my God, Smuckers. That is awful. That is truly awful. I am so sorry. Yeah, Kilroy actually mentioned that, vegan. Oh my God. That's really bad, Smuckers, that the pharmacist would have messed that up. I'm sure they'll be in on Saturday or maybe Sunday to check their messages and get back to me. I sure hope so. The first Wolf Among Us is free on Epic right now. Hey, for anybody wanting to play that. That was such a fun playthrough. I'm so glad we did that. I'd say give them a pager. Oh, man. Going back to the 90s, D. The office is closed Saturday, Sunday. I'm not going to hear shit from them. Oh, jeez. I don't know. Yeah, that sucks. I'm sure it must make it into the top 10 pharmacist rules that you don't F up narcotics prescriptions. You would think. I actually have I have a very good friend who's a pharmacist. I'm going to ask her about that. Just to see what she says. I wonder if we talk to Narissa again in the second game. You mean at the very end, vegan? When I let her go? Okay, please tell me. Okay. I don't know. I don't know what happens. Is it gonna... I mean, do any of you know with Wolf Among Us 2, is it gonna be like a direct continuation of where 1 left off? Tree Hugger, how hilarious would it be if when you added that person was actually in here? That would crack me up. Somebody should put, if there's a Death Stranding subreddit, somebody should post that clip of what happened in the river to that. It was so good. All right, mother. Oh, God. Keep your... All right, guys. Cross your fingers that this is what I was supposed to do. Oh, it is! This is Mama, mother. This is you. I imagine this is what you look like.
Hey, Sam. Thanks for coming back. Got something for you. These are your new cufflinks. They still work as a terminal, but I've added a weapon function. I was able to redesign everything from the ground up after the last connection.
And they're weapons too now.
That's right. Cord cutters.
Oh, shit.
I should explain. BTs are connected to the other side via umbilical cords, right? When those cords bring the matter of our world into contact with the antimatter of theirs, boom. Void out. But, just as Deadman theorized, your blood does have unique properties. It can be used to cut a BT's cord. So, I've added that function. Cut the cord of the BT, and it returns to the world of the dead.
Ooh.
No void out. Win-win.
Oh my God, Pink Skull. I have peripheral vertigo.
Cut him loose.
Vertigo
You can
peeps
be close
represent.
enough without them noticing. Yes.
Nice.
Cord snipping, super handcuffs.
Right. Let's try them out.
Oh shit. Oh my God. Are you kidding me?
Cut the cord connecting us.
Whoa, 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 whoa. You're really about to put this on me?
She's sound asleep. I made sure she got plenty of milk. Just do it. Please, Sam. Set us free. This world was never hers, but all the same, I didn't want her to leave it. Even though she's already lost. Truth is, she's not really my daughter.
The attack and everything, that was all a lie.
No, that part was true. My ovaries can't produce eggs, and Lochna has trouble with her uterus.
Oh, she was surrogate.
Long story short, neither of us can have
Or
children.
maybe not.
I was alright with it. I mean, children, who needs them, I thought. But my sister thought differently. Lochna wanted a child, someone to carry her genes. She fell in love with another member of Bridges, but he died in an accident. She was devastated, of course, as was I. Back then, strong emotions like that, I could feel hers, and she could feel mine. When I sensed her desire to join him, to end it, I went to her and said, let's have a baby. We took one of Lochna's eggs and fertilized it with his frozen sperm. And I carried it to term.
Holy shit.
A healthy baby grew inside me. But then there was the attack. And our bond was severed. I wanted to tell her. But I was bound to the child. I couldn't just abandon her. But I was wrong. Lochna needs to know.
The face capture on this is incredible. Yo, you're about to...
You have to break some ties to forge others.
Oh my God.
If we're going to reconnect the world, I need to reconnect with my sister first. So please, Sam.
Cold. This
Do
dude's...
it.
I can't even pause. Oh my God.
Take me home to Lochna.
I'm gonna have to carry her up this goddamn mountain. Jesus.
Sam, would you sit me up? I haven't been outside in a long time. It's just too much to take in all at once.
You sure? Thought you might be claustrophobic after your time in the rubble.
I'll be fine, so long as I can see out of the bag. The warmth of the light, the touch of the wind, the scent of the world. Lucky you. The two of you are still connected.
This got real, man. Holy crap.
Okay, Sam. Let's go.
I will, Chico. Don't worry. All right, have a seat, mother. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. So, what just happened? First of all, let me just check up on chat really quick. Yeah, D, that would be pretty cool. Let's see. One way of entering a live stream. What's up, Titan? Hello to anybody else who's popped in here. And yeah, I hear you, Smuckers. It's still brutal. Oh my god. Okay, so here's what happened. Mama was, as she told the story a while back, like a chapter ago, she was in an accident. She was basically pregnant. She was being held down by rubble. And the baby died while she was under the rubble. And when you die, you go to the beach or whatever the hell. She got saved, but that baby, she kept alive basically in BT form. So like she could still hold the baby and stuff even though it was like dead or whatever. Tan, thank you very much for the tip. I appreciate that, man.
Hey,
thank you.
You're
Lone Star Gamer, thank you for the follow. So she was, oh look, she disappears when I go to fall asleep. Oh no, oh that's funny, she just sits there. So what we just found out, she gave me that thing to be able to cut the cord. She was like really attached to the baby and she was grieving a significant amount with that baby. We had actually a really cool conversation about grief and the way that she was making sense of it and stuff in the last stream when I was doing this. But now she apparently took this into her own hands and said, you know what? I need to sever this cord because it's not doing me any good. It's not doing the baby any good. And so, Sam, why don't you go ahead and do it for me? I'm kind of surprised she had me do it instead of her doing it. I get that they probably made that happen for the game's purposes, but like, damn, that's intense. So now we have this woman who is a surrogate who basically took that baby as if it was her own for a sister that couldn't have a baby. So this baby represents a whole bunch of stuff. That baby died. She's holding on to it. She had the cord. We just cut that cord. The baby is now moved on and gone to the beach. She's still alive. We need her to go talk to her sister so that I can connect that city up in the mountains. And so now I have to carry her up to the mountains. That's what's going on. My God. She is not dead, Titan. I have the pre-order life-size BB statue. It's unsettling waking up in the middle of the night and seeing it. I bet it is, Pink. Good Lord. What's up, Dan? Hey, Ryan. Thank you so much for all the support from you and your awesome community this week. It really means a lot to me. We raised over $6,000 for heart support this week. It wouldn't happen without your involvement. Dude, that is seriously big cheers, Dan. That is huge. Congratulations on that. I know that far passed the mark that you had. And heart to support deserves every nickel of that. So absolutely. Always happy to share my community with you, dude. Appreciate you having you here tonight as well. Casual Hero, hello. Again, anybody else who I might have missed who's popped in here while I've been talking, hello. We're about to carry Mother up the mountain. I should say Mama. So now not only did she just lose her baby, she has not been outside at all yet either. And now Higgs is here. Oh boy. This just got crazy.
But it looks to me like your hands are full.
Also, thank you for the follow, Doom and Lone Star. Appreciate it.
It's no biggie. We can always tweak the rules a bit.
Oh, I gotta do another.
Ready, Sam? It's coming.
What? I gotta fight another thing?
Woo! He looks hungry. All you gotta do to make it out alive is not get eaten. Sound like fun? Of course it does.
Dude, you're gonna make me go through that emotional turmoil and now I gotta fight this thing? Holy shit. With its anus face.
Run, Sam, run!
Oh, we're just booking it? Sam, are we really just running through this or am I fighting this thing? What the hell are we doing? See ya. See you later. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God, I don't have any blood backs. I don't have the thing that I need. Oh, God. Oh, no. There's no getting out of this. Okay, hold on. I can't even pee. I can't pee on it. I have literally no weapons for this. I have no idea. Oh, my God. Ooh, this is bad. Can you sever its cord? I know, because this thing's not a BT. There's got to be blood packs in the water. Like that has to be a thing, right? Because there were blood packs in the water last time I did this. She told me to run though, so I'm gonna run. Go, Sam. Go. Go. Oh no. Oh no. Run. Oh jeez. Hold on. Run, Sam. Run, my dude. Holy shit. Oh. I could pee on it. That's about the only thing I got available to me right now. Come on, we just gotta run, mama. We're almost out. God, go. Oh.
You're out of the BT area.
Oh. I have no idea why it's suddenly fine, but we made it. And then I almost just fell and tripped, killed her. Holy shit. All right, we got to get her up the mountain. Now I have to figure out if I want to go the long way or do I go the way that I came up last time. I actually think I'm going to take that track. I'm going to go that way. Oh my God. The full-time position is ripped because they got rid of the FTE and someone else will be moving back to the department, but they're still taking me on. Oh my God. Congratulations, Victoria. Jesus, way to make me wait an hour for that. That is awesome. Cheers to that. I'm so glad to hear that. You knew it was almost done right before it ended. What made you know? I could see a change in the ground, Mother. Hoping for an FTE, but I have a big interview on the 30th. On the 30th, so that's coming up, D. That's a rough time to have an interview. Day before New Year's Eve. Oof. Big computing center. I know you've been pumped about that, dude. I really hope it works out. I really do. But will require me to move away from Mom. It sucks that there's that drawback for that. Also, should I be wearing a... oh, no, that's only when the person's dead. I was going to ask if I should be wearing an orange jumpsuit, but... oh, God, the momentum. Oh, God. Hold on, mama. The 20th. Oh, okay. So even sooner. That's good. At least you don't have to wait that much longer. If Sam pees on something, it's a defense. But if I do it, I'm arrested. Yeah, assault with a bodily fluid. Dink, you can't be doing that. I don't think... oh, no. I can't cross the river like that with mama on my back. I'm going to have to go the long way. This is bad. Or actually, I could... no, hold on. We're going to go this way, and then I'm going to take the way across that I took here, and then we're going to go up that way. I'm going to make it happen. I feel at times I'm too sensitive when it comes to political arguments. There's social or mental disorders with someone who's too sensitive and uses... and sensitivity is a defense mechanism? Like a sensitivity disorder? Oh, God. I don't have, like, the DSM cataloged off the top of my head. Not that I can necessarily think of, but I'm sure maybe... I don't know. Gecko, what do you think, buddy? I can't think of one specifically off the top of my head. Going back to attachment styles for a moment. You describe them as transferring from our families of origin to our relationships, but what about singletons? I live alone and haven't dated for about 8 years until recently, but it's never been distressing for me particularly. So it doesn't mean that being single is going to be distressing. In fact, people who handle singlehood pretty well, sometimes that can be indicative of having some level of secure attachment. There are some arguments to be made that you can have an attachment to yourself. And that sometimes people will transfer their attachment to themselves and their own, like seeing themselves as the secure base. It gets sort of theoretical with that, but DSM is the diagnostic manual for disorders that people use to actually formulate. Like, it has all the diagnostic criteria for different disorders and stuff, Titan. So when I make a diagnosis, I have to make sure that a person meets the criteria of that's written in the DSM. Yeah, it's kind of a good thing that Mama wasn't with me when the river incident happened earlier. That would have been awkward. Yeah, sure. I mean, it's certainly possible, Skog. Sam is actually really impressive with the amount of core strength he has. Is the DSM publicly available? Not... well, sort of. You can find free versions of it on the internet, Titan, like where it's been written up. Most people have to buy it in order to have the hard copy. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh. I want to use the ladder. Use the ladder. Okay, there we go. Wonder how well his stream is? Who are you referring to, Zeph? Is the let's see.
Stay strong, Sam.
Oh, come on, Sam. Climb. Come on, use this ladder. All right. Oh, you made a bad joke. Oh, I got it. You know Live PD, right? They went to like a dollar store. It turns out that the store manager felt disrespected by customers, so they punched the customer and are now being arrested. Oh, jeez. Is it Live PD? So, like, what is that? Just like watching officers respond to different things or whatever? Oh, that's kind of cool. I'd watch that. By the way, if any of you have said something to me over the last like hour and I didn't respond to it, feel free to repeat yourself so that I don't miss it. I apologize if I did miss something. Is there a disorder for someone who is too emotionally sensitive to certain topics? You could make an argument that phobias to some extent are an emotional sensitivity to a certain topic or stimulus. Does it seem we live in a day and age where people want to diagnose ourselves in order to understand ourselves? Honestly, Chico, I go back and forth on that. I hate casting blanket statements on stuff, so I'm going to refrain from saying that that's like a universal thing. I will say that anecdotally, it's a mixed bag. Like, there are some people who would say that it's really helpful to have a diagnosis and that they are really glad that they have one, because then they can understand the criteria for it and they can have a treatment plan designed and they can have some understanding of what it is and it's represented in some way. There are other people that would say, you know what, I don't really give a shit what the diagnosis is. I know what kind of change I want and I'm going to try to get it. It just depends on the person. But I don't know that people are like actively trying to necessarily get a diagnosis. I do think in some ways that people who do want a diagnosis would like it as a way to be able to explain what's going on to other people in a way that people will take seriously, because one of the problems with mental health right now, because of the stigmatization of it, is people don't take mental disorders as seriously as they should. So sometimes people need a diagnosis in order to legitimize their experience in the eyes of others. Certainly in the eyes of insurance companies, insurance won't reimburse me if I don't put a diagnosis down for a person that I'm seeing who's submitting to insurance. It's pretty shitty. So there's that. I feel like I'm more sensitive to topics when I've let my identity get wrapped up in them because disagreement with the topic threatens me. Fair enough. I'm so tired. Not as bad as yesterday, though. What are you still doing up then, Victoria?
The hospital I was staying at was fronted by...
Is there such thing as a phobia of... I mean, there certainly could be, Titan. A phobia is marked by the response like a person has to it. Also, my footwear is ruined, so let's go get some new boots.
And yeah, I know how that must sound considering our employer.
You could have a phobia of anything, Titan, by the way. Also, Winnie, thank you for the follow. I'm sorry I didn't say thank you for that when you first popped in here, but I do appreciate it. Get me some boots, huh? Little booties, level 2. And I think my power skeleton's all right to be able to get up the mountain, so. Power skeleton level 3. Ooh, maybe not. I'm going to go ahead and just make some new ones. Where did you find that, Titan? What's it called when someone actively dislikes sleep because they don't have control, like when they're awake? Ooh. I honestly don't know, TJ. I don't know what the official terminology for that would be. I mean, I would say in some ways it makes sense. I've actually experienced that in some ways.
Delivering cargo.
For me, I needed a name for it because knowing that A is because of...
Thank you
Just
for your
because...
continued support.
Wolfer, I don't know that I follow what you wrote. Hold on, I'm trying to read it. For me, I needed a name for it because knowing that A is because of B made it a hell of a lot less scary just because of being unknown of why I handled things or felt... Well, I mean, you make meaning out of things in the way that you need to. There's nothing wrong with that, Wolfer.
Thank you for your contribution.
Somnophobia is fear of sleep. Huh. Somnophobia, okay. Yeah, usually it's like the Latin version of whatever the thing is, and then... the Latin name for it, I guess. Alright. Alright, y'all. Let's make our little trek up the mountain here. With Mother on our backs. Hopefully there's a charging station somewhere nearby. 'Cause I could use that for my legs. Oh, there's one. It's over there. I'm gonna go over there. You've been in bed for a while? Just hanging out? That's fine. All right, Titan, hold on. No. I mean, well, I don't know. I mean, that person's not calling it a specific disorder. That person's just saying that you could have a phobia of it, which is a little bit more legitimate, I guess, than the other one, but not quite.
Weapons restrictions lifted.
Oh, I got you, Skog. Okay. No worries, Wolfer. It's all good. Since you're a therapist, how unusual would you say this situation is? Back in 2007, I was at a crap outpatient rehab in South Florida, but I actually met a therapist who I connected very well with. I had her personal number while we were there. I'm no longer in the area, but she's made it clear I'm welcome to call whenever, and I do on occasion when I'm having trouble with something. Is that person your... I guess the thing about that, Smuckers, would be, one, does she call that therapy? Because if she calls that therapy, that's problematic. If it's, you know, we're friends and we can chat, that's a different thing. But that's, I mean, that immediately screams big yikes in my head. Especially if the therapist was at the rehab facility. Now, I understand that it's helpful. I'm not trying to take that away, but from the therapist perspective, I would never do that, if that's any indication. You have to be really careful with that stuff as a therapist. I sent my boss stupid text on Tuesday. I felt like an idiot, but thankfully they were very insignificant comments about lunch. Wait, what? Did you just like do that by accident, Victoria? I don't understand. Thankful to have you here too, D. As we climb this mountain with Mama on my back. Here we go. Through a snowstorm, through the BTs apparently. She doesn't call it therapy, just as friends sort of thing. So it's left up to me to decide if I want to call or not. Yeah, it's just tricky, Smuckers. I mean, it's probably innocuous, and if it's fine for you or whatever, it's probably fine, but for me, I don't like to put myself in that situation. That's why I say, like, you know, if you guys DM me on Discord, I have to be really careful with how I respond, because theoretically, the idea would be if you're reaching out to her because you know she's a therapist rather than because you would consider her to be a friend, then she would have to be mindful of that. But I'm not gonna triangulate myself in that. It's just you had asked my opinion. To me, it's kind of like, ugh. It feels a little weird. Oh, by accident. Well, that's a very important word, Victoria, but I understand. Okay. See, the operative part of this, Smuckers, would be if you had a service agreement with her. Because if you had a service agreement at any time that said that the nature of your relationship was one that was therapeutic, then it's problematic. If you don't have a service agreement, then it's a little bit more of a gray area. I'm learning a lot, and I just got here. That's commendable that you are an actual therapist. Well, I'm glad you're learning something, Doom. It's what I'm here for. We have conversations like this all the time while I'm streaming. I'm here to answer questions and talk about this stuff and make it accessible to people. So I'm really glad you're here. I'm glad you're learning something. Pink Skull, thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate you. It's so great to have you guys here on a Friday night. This is how I like spending Friday nights this way. So a service agreement, Smuckers, would be where you sign something that said, "This is you are therapist, I am client." We are entering a clinical arrangement, which means that in perpetuity, your relationship is one of client therapist instead of his friends. Like when people sign a service agreement with me where I become their therapist, for the rest of time, I cannot be friends with them. I cannot have a sexual relationship with them. I can't do anything like that. Even when their file is closed.
All those smokes.
Aiden, thank you for the bits. I appreciate that. It's good to have you here, Aiden. Is there a way to help a partner become more securely attached? Is that pretty much set after childhood? No, it's not set. Skog, you have to be consistent and reliable in your responses. Really validating. set healthy boundaries and maintain healthy boundaries. Those types of things facilitate secure attachment over time. It is possible to form a secure attachment if you did not have a secure attachment while you were growing up. Confirmed why I usually delete our conversations after we're done talking. That's hilarious, Victoria. I noticed that a lot of money has been added to the merch goal. Is Squirt still okay for you to say? It is, CJ. Squirt is still on the grid. You can take a word off the grid for $50. I learned stuff like crazy in here. It's nice. I don't get much intellectual discussion in my circle of people. Well, by the way, so Doom, because you said that, if you follow my YouTube and subscribe to my YouTube, I put out daily mental health tidbit videos. So there's over 100 videos there at this point of little tidbits that you can watch if you're interested. Where I will clip various things I say across streams and make sure that they're posted so that every day you get a little something in your inbox to learn about mental health. So feel free to follow that as well. Also the Discord, all these wonderful people are there while I'm off, while I'm not streaming, and there's some cool stuff in there. Would that also mean that a channel ban of their Twitch account, Discord account, would that not be needed? What do you mean, D? I think I might have missed something. Can you clarify for me? Are there limits for future relationships with clients in perpetuity in the U.S. and in your state? Yes, Gecko. Once I have entered... So marriage and family therapists in the United States, once they have engaged in a clinical relationship with a person, they actually recently changed the ethics of that to be lifetime. It used to be a 2-year period from the last date or from the closed file date, and they changed that to perpetuity. Yeah, they kind of went more with the social work model of that. Found 2 more articles about Trump anxiety disorder. Are they more valid than what you saw before? No need to rush to read them if you don't do it right now. So here's the thing. Just to give you a blanket statement here, Titan. If Trump anxiety disorder is not in the DSM, as far as any therapist is going to be concerned, it's not legitimate. They might hypothesize that a person has like some kind of phobia or is triggered by him or his name, but until it's in the DSM or until it's an ICD code, the International Classification of Disorders, until it's in that,
Stay strong, Sam.
not a thing. Gaming disorder was an example of that. Gaming disorder recently got made as an ICD code, but is still not in the DSM. Hey, if they sign a service agreement with you, would you have to block them from the stream? No. No, my clients are free to watch the stream. I just will... if a person was to say, I'm Dr. Mick's client, I can't confirm or deny that. But no, a person is not precluded from being able to watch my stream just because they're my client. I will check the videos out. I just completed the story, so I'm definitely will be tuned into the streams. Nice, Doom. I look forward to having you in here. Also, I went the wrong way again. I've been doing this very obnoxiously. It is interesting, Gecko. There are ways in which I agree with it, and I think that's good because it protects people. I also think, like, you know, if in 10 years you ran into the person, like, really? But I get why we do it. Perpetuity means forever, Wolfer. So if, for example, anybody in here became my client, if you wanted to have a beer with me, we could never do it. So if the therapist and client each make new identities, then they can be in a relationship together. You could theoretically do it, CJ, but there are therapists who date their clients. There are therapists who engage in relationships with their former clients. And it's not really a problem until it gets reported, until that person's brought to an ethics board, in which case then we have an issue. So the thing that therapists have to be careful about is, like, if I engaged in a sexual relationship with a former client, say 5 years from now, sure, I could take the risk. Nobody will know. But if we have a really nasty breakup and then that person goes to an ethics board and says, yeah, I've been banging Dr. Mick, I could lose my license. So if I want to get rid of my license, sure. But I don't really want to lose my license. essentially psych boards treating clients like children who are never able to make adult decisions for themselves. I mean, I do have, there is a part of me that agrees with that, Gecko. I don't really type much when I'm here. I'm far more a positive comment person, but sometimes people fall through the cracks of the system of society. What happens when you have a bad attitude or don't agree with the way things are? Society will starve you, punish you. I've been fired from a job 31 times. They won't accept me. I don't even try until I figure out how to fix that. It's what leads me to places like this. Well, I'm glad you're here, Blahman. I hear that that's probably quite distressing, and I'm sure you're not fond of those circumstances, but I will say I'm glad you're here, and you don't have to be positive here. I'm okay with people just talking about how they are. You know, the good, the bad, the ugly. The only thing I ask is that people just be respectful of each other. If you're not in a good place, that's totally fine. All experiences are welcome here. ICD, Titan. National, from what I understand, Smuckers. It's part of the code of ethics for the American Association for Marriage and Family Therapy. Going out with a bang, you could say. You could say that, Coder, yes. By the way, good to see you, dude. It can indeed, D. You are correct. I've been banging Dr. Mick is a great thing to put on my tombstone. The impression I'm getting is something that could end up as a really sticky situation. Most therapists would not risk such a thing. Yeah, most therapists worth their salt would not risk that. Absolutely not. I wouldn't. Absolutely not. It's not worth it. Unless you know that they're your soulmate or some shit like that and you want to put your license on the line in the case of a bad breakup or something or a divorce, you go for it. But man, I wouldn't be messing with that. You get so many warnings about it when you're in school. Like, ethics classes are loaded with that shit. So, no way. I also really don't know if I can actually climb this mountain from this side. I really hope I can. Also, I really hope I have a monster. Watch. Oh, I do. Okay. ICD's nuts. Got him. That's right, Victoria. You did. You got him. How long does it take to classify DSM something? Is that something that's going to take years? Yeah, the DSM comes out with a new edition. I actually don't know how many years. The DSM-5 just came out. I want to say it went into effect maybe like 5 years ago. I would guess that a revision of the DSM-5 is probably due relatively soon. 2013. Yeah, there we go. We'll be playing Death Stranding when I get home. Been playing Yakuza 0 lately. Nice. Well, enjoy your Death Stranding run. I can honestly say I've had clients where a part of me was sad they became my clients because I could see us being lifelong friends. Totally, Gecko. Totally. I've been there too, man. And then there are clients that get bummed out by that. Like, I've had clients say, you know, I'd love to get a beer with you sometime. And I'm like, I can't. Ever. I'm sorry, because I'd love it too. So yeah, I've been there, man. Let's say if your client, let's say if I was your client and I provided stream-related tech services to you, would that be appropriate? I.e. utilizing my skills? Yes, you actually can. I'm going to say this and people are going to cringe if you're in the United States. You actually can quid pro quo in the United States for marriage and family therapists or barter services. So, or not quid pro quo. Sorry, you can't quid pro quo. You could barter. So like if I was like, but it has to be of equivalent value. And the therapist and the client have to be well informed about that and have to make that decision. But yeah, if you were like, yeah, dude, I'll do your landscaping and my rate is $151 an hour. You could do my landscaping and I could see you as a client. Yes, Gecko, you can. What if you guys have a beer during session? That is a 100% no-go, CJ. Cannot do that. It's an outright no-no. It's South Africa? Yeah. Therapy for beer? No. I don't think I would accept a beer from a client. Yeah, pretty much, D. What about if your clients have a glass of wine or beer during the session? No. I'll let clients vape, but that's about it. You can't, so the idea of it is like, you shouldn't really be under any significant influence. Alcohol having a really significant influence on a person, like, a person takes a puff or two out of a vape or something like that, not a big deal. Make sure to charge a butt ton for my services. You got it, Zeph. Problem with bartering. Let's say you bargain bartering your IT skills for therapy skills. I give you therapy, then you come do my IT stuff, and I decide I'm not happy with the service you provided. How do I proceed from that point? That's the risk you take when you engage in bartering, Gecko. At least in how it's written right now. Like, that's the idea, is that theoretically could happen. And it would suck, right? Like, if you did shitty landscaping, then all of a sudden you're in an awkward spot. Do I keep doing therapy if you're doing really bad landscaping? If you give me really shitty legal advice, do I continue being your therapist? Yikes. Today I sent in some requests for the current Tricare West Region contractor, aka the people my old employer lost their contract to. That was a very interesting experience on the requesting side. I bet it was. You know I do the best work I could within the budget in my case, right? I do, D. I do not, as a matter of principle for me, I do not barter. It's too complicated. I think it's too messy. It's just not, it's not a situation that I like to be in. $1,000 for me to plant your rose bushes and weekly watering included. Oh my God, Zeph. I don't have that kind of money. The DSM revision takes 14 years. Maybe one of the revisions did. It depends on how the people who come together to put it together, like how long they want to wait to do it. But you'll take $50 to say or not say words. That's for the stream, man. That has nothing to do with any service agreement that I have. None of you have a service agreement with me. Clients give me cash money, I mess with their heads. There you go, Gecko. This is a very hypothetical question, but in my case, I work in first response, and if for whatever reason I had to respond to a call and it turned out to be my therapist, am I supposed to excuse myself? Because I don't know if I could on my own moral, not to mention the whole failure to treat issues. Ooh. Jeez. Wolfer, that's a... What would your code of ethics say? I think that at that point, that's on your code of ethics, not ours. Like, there are things that I might morally object to, but my code of ethics in the law says I have to do otherwise, and I have to adhere to that. So it would depend on what your code of ethics said about that, to be completely honest. I'll hug the trees for free. I believe it, tree hugger. Illuminati, what's up? Good to have you in here. Really long week, so I've not been able to stop by. I've had a really long week too, Illuminati. So I am with you. My experience told me that writing one tiny thing wrong meant that I should just start over and might deny it. Oh, Victoria. Uncle Bill, thank you for the host, man. It's true, the DSM-4 was published in 2000. DSM-5 was published in 2013. Yes, but in between that, Titan, the DSM-4 TR, which was a revision of the DSM-4, happened between that space. So what will probably happen is we'll have like a DSM-5 TR before the DSM-6. Can you sign this little thing I have? Nice try, Chico. You think I should take her to the spa?
I'm going Sam. Well,
Have a great night, Zeph. I hope you sleep well. Thank you for being here, as always. What is TR for the DSM-5? It would be like the revision, but I don't know when that's going to come out. Let's talk about how the authors of the DSM were a bunch of white male doctors. Oh God, Victoria, you want to go into that now? Such a social worker. It's true though. The DSM-3, like the DSM-2, the DSM-3, there's some bad stuff in there, man. That's where, like, being gay was a disorder and shit. I can't confirm or deny that I have a service agreement with anybody in chat, Smuckers. This would be the better way for me to say that. But the stream itself is not a service agreement. Like, you don't have a service agreement with me by virtue of watching the stream. I think that's more what I meant by that. My code of ethics say I have to treat to my full ability. I cannot pass over to anyone to some level of care, only to someone with a higher level of care. I mean, HIPAA would still be in complete effect, but yeah, just a very interesting thought I've had plenty of times. Oh, I mean, the thought makes sense. But yeah, usually what you got to default to is whatever your code of ethics is, Wolfer. And you kind of deal with the more minor issues after. I am nice to social workers. I love me a social worker. You guys do work that I don't think I could do. I should have packed an extra pair of boots also, because I'm not going to make it to this city. This is going to be really bad. Definitely an interesting question, though, Wolfer. You know, to some extent, that even brings in the idea of, like, could you treat a celebrity if a celebrity came to see you, if you were reading too much of the gossip columns about them and you couldn't detach yourself from that, like, although I'm not an emergency service, so. Oh God, Chico. You always love to say the LC word. I can see an auditor not being happy with the broadcast grade camera, LED lighting, and PC case that looks like it came from a gaming magazine. It's for teletherapy sessions. They'd be fine with it, D. As long as I'm using HIPAA compliant software and as long as I'm not recording sessions without client consent, they would have no issue with it.
I wasn't alone.
It's not a red flag. A red flag would be if the light was on and my clients didn't sign off on that. That would be a problem.
Hers and Loch Ness.
It kind of feels that way, doesn't it, Skog?
We were conjoined twins.
I don't know how that thing she's in is warm, but
then they tried to separate us.
the reason I bring the Trump anxiety disorder stuff is because I felt like I've never been in the same since Trump's election. I'm pretty sure I'm not alone in feeling that way. You are not alone in feeling that way, Titan.
We were still one.
You were definitely not alone in that. That elicited anxiety for a lot of people. And there were some who experienced that as a trauma.
It's her joy.
So you could stream sessions, or did I? No. Well, actually, okay. So theoretically, CJ, I could stream sessions if I had the service agreement created that would allow for that. I have not done any legal consult to the extent that I would need to do it in order to make that a thing, but I theoretically could do it. I could stream sessions, but it is a legal mess, an ethical mess for me to do that.
When we share.
Like, I have a pipe dream that I would be able to do that someday, but it would cost me a lot of money in legal fees in order to make that a thing. And I'm not quite ready for that.
One that will let everyone share what Lochna and I have. I saw it all laid out before me after I signed up for Bridges.
It would be cool, though. Because then you guys could see what, like, a therapy session actually looks like.
No matter how scattered or different.
Yeah, I do know she's talking. I'm just sort of ignoring it because I have to, I gotta make this trip. All right, here we go. Downhill.
It would be about bringing them into the fold. Where they would share alike. I knew it could change the world.
Footwear ruined. Uh-oh.
We finalized the Cupid design.
My feetsies are gonna be cold here. What's up, Pitstick?
After the attack,
Have you seen what healthygamer.gg does? I do.
everything changed.
I am so Pitstick. I know this may be frustrating, but I'm gonna refrain from commenting on what he does.
I can feel her again.
You could stream a mock session with somebody. That I could do, yes, but that's really hard to do, honestly.
I feel whole again.
But yes, I am very aware of what he's doing, Pitstick. Let's say if I were the audio mixer operator for such a stream in a separate room, not client visible, but with a headset on and watching your camera feed to your monitor, would there have to be a specific? Yes. Yeah, D. The client would have to consent to you being back there and bearing witness to sessions. You can do a lot of things so long as it's in the informed consent and clearly stated. So, yes. Like, for example, the students in the graduate program that I worked in, both of them, they would video record their sessions. Clients consent to that. And then they consent to that tape being seen by supervisors and colleagues. So yeah, that's totally okay so long as the client's informed. If that was happening without the client's consent, that's a problem. That's a HIPAA violation. APA did say that there was a 5% increase in general anxiety during the Trump. However, they obviously didn't say whether that was directly related to the Trump or just a coincidence. Yeah, because that's a hard thing to measure, honestly. Did you know that Native Americans would have their babies sit on their poop while they traveled so babies would stay warm and could focus on... I did not know that, CJ. I have Native American in me. I did not know that. If it were being streamed, I'd say the chat would have to be heavily moderated, period. Yeah. That's part of the mess. Because people would have to know that other people are watching and commenting, and that the anonymity of Twitch chat could potentially mean that people are going to say some not so fun stuff. But yeah, that would be a huge piece of it. Probably subscriber only chat, slow mode, and auto mod turned up to 4. Oh, you turned up to 11, man.
Beginning scan. Scanning bridges ID. Verifying ID.
I think an argument can be made that anxiety rises with every election. I mean, that's just inherently part of the deal. Like, you've got something new coming at you, and there's a lot of unknowns. Probably would be best not to do a live stream. Therapy sounds like it's not worth it given all the baggage that comes with it. It's just tricky. Like, I'm not opposed to it. It's just, you really have to be careful. Like, I can't just be like, hey, this is fine, and then it's fine. Does duty to warn apply to anything aside from direct threats to self or others? Child and elder abuse, rad. It depends on your state, by the way. If your state's a duty to warn state, some states are not. But you have to know what your local and state laws are for that. But child and elder abuse usually fall within that. Like in Indiana, for example, when I was living in Indiana, you're a mandated reporter even if you're not a mental health worker. So if you saw somebody smack their kid in the grocery store, you're actually mandated to report that. All right, Mama. Let's see what you got to say to your sister here. Oh boy, here we go. This is gonna be intense, I think. You fall asleep? Aw, she fell asleep. I would agree that we should, Chico, but the law can say otherwise. Not, well, actually, I don't know. Maybe, Gecko. I don't know if all states, I think not all states, sometimes in some states, only mental health workers are mandated reporters.
Good to hear your voice again.
Glad she didn't, Victoria.
I shouldn't have kept you in the dark. Tried to save her. I couldn't. You don't have to say anymore.
I feel like I've seen Lockney before in something else.
Lockman, you need to fix his Cupid. I couldn't save our child, but you can save our world. Only you. I love you. You hear me? Forever
Sounds like she's gonna die.
and always.
I contribute 0 to it, Titan. It's a committee of people that
No.
do it.
Make the world whole. Okay? Just like you make me.
I believe it, Victoria. What? Why is she dead? That is true, Blahman. Same deal with emotions. People experience things relative to other things. I don't understand why she just died. That doesn't make any sense to me. Or maybe she's just sleeping. Please tell me she's just sleeping. Why did she die?
All that she went through. I had no idea. I thought she'd severed our bond on purpose, that she stole our child and ran. I fixed your Cupid like she asked. The limiter should be functioning properly now. There is one thing. Before I sat down to work, I took a long, hard look at the code. I'm pretty sure someone's tweaked it. Either that, or my memory's going to pieces.
Someone rewrote your code?
Rewrote might be overstating it. Let's just say it wasn't the latest version I released. And yet, because of it, I was finally reunited with Malingen. Could be we found our culprit already. She died beneath the rubble, with our child still inside her. Her Ka passed over to the other side, but her Ha remained, bound to our dead daughter. She knew all of this, of course. That's why she kept one cuff loose. Didn't want anyone seeing her vitals. Shame she couldn't use her favorite invention. She did all that to keep me and our daughter safe.
Oh, that would be interesting, Smokers. And that makes a lot of sense, D. Nothing wrong with that, dude. Because those glasses are serious, CJ. How do you not take me seriously with those glasses? You telling me you're questioning my glasses? You're questioning my glasses, you can get out. Sam Porter Bridges wears what he wants. And it's as long as it's purple. It's a dance that's done in New Zealand, vegan. She could do half the dance, but not the other half of the dance. Just kidding, CJ. You know I love you.
Sis?
Oh, boy.
We're whole again. We're one. Like before in the womb.
What is going on with her eyes?
Malingen. Hakna.
Sam just stands there stoically, like yeah, this is normal. Hello, Zine. to all friends of Zine. Coming in at an awkward time because I'm getting ready to leave pretty soon. But hello, I'm Dr. Mick. I'm a licensed couple and family therapist in the state of Illinois with a PhD in human development. This is Game Sessions with the Therapist, where I play video games and talk about mental health,
You're gonna love
therapy, psychology, all sorts of fun stuff. My goal is to destigmatize mental health, to make mental health information more accessible to people who wouldn't otherwise have it. And I am also a huge fan of Zine. So, hello, Raiders. Predamorph, thank you for the follow. Super Abominable Toaster, fabulous name. Thank you very much for the follow. I am currently playing Death Stranding, but I also play games like Destiny, stuff like that. I do lots of mental health things on stream, but always am focused on chat and having a conversation with the people who are in chat with me. If there's anybody in here who doesn't know Zine, go follow Zine. He's fabulous. But Zine, I appreciate you. Thank you for bringing your people here and for continuing to support my channel by bringing people over and introducing them to me. It means a lot. It really does. Potentially, Blahman. It's hard for me to answer. Lee Puff, thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate it. But yeah, welcome in. I stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays, usually in the afternoon, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday evenings at 11:30 p.m. Central Time. I always forget to say that when people come in, but so good to have so many of you in here. Zine, you have this way of rating me usually right before I'm going to go offline, and then it gives me this extra little shot of adrenaline because I got new people to hang out with. So feel free to @ me if you want to ask me something or talk whatever. I have a fabulous community here. Highly recommend you check out the Discord. I also have a YouTube channel with daily mental health tidbits that go out at noon. No, it's totally fine, Zine. I appreciate it, man. What's the difference between a therapist and a psychologist? Psychologists can be therapists. Therapists, I suppose, can be psychologists. The way that I like to remember it, Abominable Toaster, is that psychologists are people who study psychology, like researchers, that kind of thing, but they don't necessarily have to be therapists, whereas therapists are more in the applied version of it of let me take what psychologists are researching and let me put it into practice. That's the way I separate the two. Lobros around is an idea, but obs your choice. Ooh, Zine, we might do that. I have no idea, Titan, to be completely honest with you. I do not know the answer to that. I don't know if we're jumping over the wall, gamer. We'll say I want to say hello to everybody, and I appreciate the follows and those of you who are sticking through the raid. We'll play a little bit here. All right, I'm cool with it. There's been some crazy shit going down in this game. If you don't know what's going on, that's fine. I don't really know either.
And you, Lochner,
but
your work
hello to everybody who is here. I appreciate you giving me a chance.
Together, we might just make it all the way west. Now then, Sam, there's
something else I ought to know.
We've been studying the data from when you claim you encountered those soldiers.
Oh, by the way, if any of you said something to me and tagged me before the raid, feel free to tag me again and repeat yourself, because I probably missed what you said, and I'm sorry, but I don't want to miss what you said. So, hit me up. I'm going to talk to Die Hardman.
We had audio, which doesn't paint a complete picture on its own, but the languages, the names, and terms we picked out, the munitions we could identify, everything seems to indicate that you were on a battlefield over 100 years ago. World War I, to be precise. It wasn't a dream, wasn't a hallucination. Maybe you were spirited away to another dimension or something. And given the time and discrepancies, maybe you were sent to a beach. Can't say anything for certain.
Oh, is that the thing? That's the thing that happened during the storm, right? Like when all of a sudden I went and was shooting at that dudeski.
By the will of the people who inhabit them. Perhaps Hartman can offer a more rational explanation.
Oh, let me go to his penthouse.
Unfortunately, he's still outside the
I know where he is.
Anyway.
I know where he is. All right, we're gonna go talk to my main man Hartman. And then I'm gonna go to bed. Why wasn't the Die Hardman actor at the award ceremony? Which award ceremony, Vegan? I know not which award show you speak of. Also, I am burning up. Holy shit. We got to dip in that spa again. I agree. I absolutely agree. Scenic views of the snowy mountains. We're going to go take a little bath in the spa.
Good morning, Sam. Blood
Hey,
collection
you're gonna
complete.
love.
Thank you for the follow, Mystic Motion. Those of you following me, I appreciate it. You want to know when I go live and when we all have fun together, you smash that follow button and I'll be there. But I do realize it's weird when you meet somebody new and you're like, I don't know this guy. I don't know this guy. Is he really a therapist? He wears his hat backwards. He looks like he's 15 years old. I'm 29. I do have a license, I promise. I can prove it. Is it possible that Hartman is in the heart-shaped part of the map next to the heart-shaped lake? Time to show the Raiders the shower scene. So now that oh no, but I already put my hat on. No. I already put my hat on. We will slam a couple beers though. Video Games Award ceremony where Kojima won Best Director. He won Best Director. Did he win it for this game? I know nothing about what happened at the award ceremony, other than the fact that apparently, I don't even know who won. Jared told me who won Game of the Year, and I forgot. There is beer. Yeah, it's Chiral beer, Nix. Sam turned monster into beer. I mean, he's basically like Jesus in this game, so he can kind of do whatever he wants. Call of Duty won Game of the Year. Are you kidding me, M-Dash? Please tell me you're kidding. Wait, why can't I leave? Apparently I go check on BB. Oh, Sekiro. That's right. That's what Jared told me. Sekiro won it.
Lou?
Whoa. Wait, why did you just call him Lou?
Ooh, looking for this? Surprise. Fragile warped me here. I finally got to visit the beach. Well, her beach. Don't worry. I didn't come all this way for the sightseeing. Your beloved BB has a serious issue.
Oh, shit. Well, I hope not for long too, Mystic.
You may recall
Glad to have you here.
explaining that these incubators connect BBs via the chiral network to
God
the
damn it.
single mother's
I should have gone to bed. This is
back.
too much.
Bridge babies are quite literally bridges between this world and the other side. Their place is not here with us, nor with the BTs over there. They belong precisely in between, with no greater affinity for one world or the other.
Don't shake my baby.
You've got style, brother.
Hey, Puff, thank you very much for the subscription. That is very kind of you to do. Happy 1 month. Appreciate you.
Further towards the world of the living. Towards you, sir.
It's because we're partners.
Partners.
Has he always had those stitches on his head?
BB's a tool, not a human being. Bridge, yes. Baby, no.
So tell me what the problem is.
This tool, this weapon, is transforming into a living being. It's gaining weight. Its brain activity is increasing. It's accumulating memories.
Yeah.
Baby 28 is becoming self-aware, becoming an actual child.
He's so cute. My man Cletus.
Doesn't sound like a problem to me.
It's hardware, Sam. Manufactured for a purpose. A purpose that cannot fulfill outside the pod. There is a 70% risk of catastrophic failure simply in removing it. Which hardly matters because at this point, it'll cease functioning within a couple of days.
Why?
It's functioning.
That's right. Not even the pod will be enough. It'll be bricked.
What do we do?
Oh, shit.
We reset it. You'll have to leave it with me, of course.
No.
I'll cut the cord that links the two of you and then perform an operation that reconnects it to the other side.
I'm looking forward to it too,
Think of it
Flea
as
Puff.
a little tug to correct its alignment.
Always nice to have another mental health worker in chat. There are several of them in chat. So I always love having a fellow mental health worker in here.
Alignment. To
Y'all
put it
keep me in
back
check.
where it belongs, right between the world of the living and the dead. But like I said, you'll have to be without it for a while.
You're sure this'll work?
Sam is very trusting.
Of course. One catch, though. The surgery may erase its memories.
Erase? Lou forget me?
When did he name him Lou?
The BB will still function as intended. You just have to trust me. Come on. I'm telling you, it's like a game. Just select retry and start again.
Dude. Ah! That's my kid right there.
And this is why I hate these.
Ah. Get him, Cletus. That's my boy. I don't trust him either.
I was already filthy from my trip through the beach. But now your BB has added insult to injury.
Why is he taking my stuff? I don't trust this at all. You know, hop in the shower. In your clothes. I can't tell yet, Chico, but I have not felt good about him or Die Hardman. Am I going to get in the shower with... Are you serious right now? Take a shower with him? Is this how you guys do it? This is how you do it. This reminds me of that Rowan Atkinson sketch where the guy's talking about how to do your first date. And this is what not to do. Go just stand in the shower, fully clothed, and just stand there like this. Just waiting. Take it from me, guys. If you want to shower with somebody, this is how you do it. And then with the simple press of the triangle button. All right, I'll get in with you. Hold on. What is that? This is ridiculous. What? Oh my God. I'll just leave my clothes on too. Shh.
No one can spy on us in here. It's just you and me. No audio records of what we say. No video for lip reading analysis. Get closer. Die Hardman cannot know of this. Understood? I've been doing some digging into the first BB experiments. Officially, they were suspended by the government following a void out which claimed the life of the then acting president. Documents were shredded. BB technology banned, yes? But obviously, the experiments continued in secret on the direct orders of President Strand.
Bridget?
The BBs were essential to solving the mystery
Hey,
of the Death
you're gonna
Stranding.
love this.
William, thank you for the follow.
Oh, she had big plans for them. They weren't designed just to be BT detectors. She wanted to incorporate them into the cargo network to facilitate travel to the beach. But none of her plans ever came to fruition.
Hey, you're gonna love
And now
this.
BB Tech
Peg,
has
thank you.
fallen into terrorist hands.
What's Die Hardman's part in this?
I'm afraid to find out. I don't know how long he was working for Strand. I don't even know his real name or his face.
Okay, dude, chill.
Thought you might, since you two go further back.
He was already wearing a mask when I met him. Something about burning his face.
Right. Sorry. Any data we have from back then is classified at the highest level. As far as I know, the director is the only one with clearance. But the chiral network presents a new opportunity. By compiling fragmented data in the public domain from all across the country, I might
Jesus.
be able to piece together a little more of the puzzle. Be careful, Sam. They're watching.
I'm gonna have balls as blue as my hat after that shower.
Well, Sam, you're a good sport. I'll give you that. Still, it's a fine way to get out of doing the laundry.
This isn't suspicious at all.
Just fix BB, all right?
Oh, no. You'll be doing the fixing. I'd never manage without your help. Check the delivery terminal upstairs for the details. When you're ready, of course.
That was something. You could have given me 100 guesses on what was going to happen next, and I would have never guessed that he was going to get in the shower and tell me to come in there with him fully clothed so we could avoid a discussion about Die Hardman and the dead president. My lord. Okay, so apparently BB's there's more to it than we thought. That was wild, man. No BB. No BB up the ladder this time. Oh, God, Matt. All right, we're going to go talk to Hartman. You never have a shower talk before? Not fully clothed, Spectatorio? Have you fully clothed had conversations in a shower to avoid the president's handyman getting a hold of what you're saying?
That man tells me your BB isn't performing to spec. We'll have to put your primary mission on hold until we restore its functionality. It's our only Dooms-compatible unit.
Okay.
And you're going to have to deal with more BTs as you head further west. Case in point, Amelie's informed us of a tar belt outside of Edge Knot City. A massive region crawling with BTs that Higgs supposedly summoned.
Great. Perfect timing.
And as much as we want you to get her out as soon as possible, you'll have a snowball's chance in hell without your BB. So your first priority is to help Deadman restore it to working order.
You got it. Tell me I gotta go talk to Hartman.
Maybe the two of you can discuss it in person.
Sam.
I'm a little busy at the moment, so I hope you don't mind if we stick to Hollow. First, I need you to link up a few preppers in the area so we can increase local chiral density. That's to bolster the connection between BB-28 and its still mother. Then, as I explained earlier, we need to correct your BB's alignment. To facilitate that process, we need to quite literally put some distance between you two. Keep it here while we send you out. If everything goes to plan, your BB should resume normal function.
Fortunately, this plan advances our other objectives. We want to integrate this region into the chiral network anyway. So build relationships with the preppers by making deliveries and convince them to come on board. It's not easy to make a home for yourself in those mountains. Even so, plenty of people had a mind to try. You'll find shelters scattered throughout. We've got a whole list of orders from them waiting to be processed.
I'm sure you do.
Remember, though, that you're dealing with folks who chose to live out there. Folks who probably value their privacy. Don't think for a second it'll be easy to win them over. You'll have to earn their trust, bit by bit, job by job. Another thing, Sam. You'll be making runs without a BB for a spell.
I'm aware.
That will vastly diminish your ability to detect BTs. So keep your eyes and ears open for anything out of the ordinary. And stay the hell out of the rain if you can help it.